G'day, I'm Johnny Toogood. My day job is playing in the rock band Shihad, but I'm here to talk about my first ever solo album. It's an album called Last of the Lonely Gods. Some of the it's a banger. I love this record. Yeah,
Beautiful. You look like you went off into another world there for a moment, mate, thinking about it.
I was thinking about it because I mean it's not. It's heavy in what I'm singing about. I'm singing about heavy shit. I'm singing about like a 50 because I'm a 53-year-old that who lost his mum during COVID when I was locked down in Melbourne and she died in Wellington, New Zealand. So I had to say goodbye on the phone, which I found really sad because I wanted to just be there with my mum, like most people, and couldn't. That was tough. And then a bit after that, I got stuck in New Zealand away from my wife and kids for 3.5 months because there was an Omicron wave outbreak that happened in NZ while I was there on tour. So there was no flights going between the countries, so I got stuck there. That was pretty traumatic. Traumatic for my kids as well, and my wife, because they were in lockdown in Melbourne. She couldn't get any help, so she was losing her mind. I was losing my mind. And then we finally made a move back to New Zealand, and then I caught COVID. And I caught COVID, and the thing that happened to me was I've got pre-existing tinnitus, so ringing in my ears, bro, which is just basically from a life of playing heavy music and standing too close to a China cymbal, which is cool. And you know what? I've always been able to deal with it. I'll go and see a band and I'll be loud when I get home. But if I take it easy the next day, it'll fade into the background. But this was like 2 weeks after I caught COVID. I got woken up out of a dream with a car alarm going off my head. It was like I'd been to see Motorhead and stuck my head in the PA, and it was like, whoa, what's going on? On that first night, didn't end up sleeping for 36 hours, ended up in A&E at a hospital with the doctors giving me like lorazepam and zopiclone just to knock me out. And I was having because it's such a distressing sound. It's like literally like a car alarm going off in your head, really loud, right? And I was like, man, and my ears are my business, bro. Like, I need my ears to work, And so I was like having fucking full-blown panic attacks, going, what the hell? Out of control in my body. Went on a big search, went to the top nose throat specialist in Auckland. They were like, well, there's a data coming out of the US saying that if you had tinnitus before you caught COVID, you got a 40% chance of it turning it up really loud. And we don't know because there's not enough data to tell you when it's going to come back down again. I can tell you after 2.5 years of having it, it hasn't gone back down again. But what I did discover was a thing called cognitive behavioral therapy, which someone suggested at the University of Auckland after that didn't work as well. And she was a woman that dealt with like ex-military sort of post-traumatic stress disorder people. And she was basically, yep, I got tinnitus too. It's all coming from your brain, Johnny. It's not actually coming from your ears. What happens is COVID comes in, it suppresses your overall volume of your hearing. Now, if you've got pre-existing top end damage, which I have, that's turn that frequency up. And that's what happened to me. So that's where that tinnitus is coming from. It's actually my brain trying to protect me from primal bullshit. So I living in a suburb in Melbourne, I'm not going to get eaten by a lion, but my brain doesn't know that. So the whole idea with cognitive behavioral therapy is that I've got to tell my brain, there, it's okay. You can chill. And she said the first thing we usually tell people is you need to learn how to meditate. But unfortunately, with tinnitus, silence is the enemy, man, because if you're in a silent room, it becomes even louder because you start focusing on it, right? So, okay, what is another form of mindfulness? Well, playing your guitar. So I started playing my guitar. And because of all the carnage, the personal carnage, losing my mum, my brother-in-law also died during COVID, really aggressive terminal cancer. And all this shit had happened. I was like, I need music that's gentle and that can articulate what I needed to hear music that said, there, Johnny, life's still beautiful. I know you're sad, but it's okay. Like life's still worth living. And so I couldn't find that album. So I wrote it, basically. I wrote an album for someone who'd been through what I'd been through. And I gave myself a real limitation right at the start. It's got to work with my voice and that instrument. That's it. You're not allowed to use any trickery. It's got to be honest. It's got to be truthful, and yeah, it's got to be comforting to a 53-year-old metal guy. And that was the record. That was the start of it. And I was never going to release it, bro. It was just purely music for me, purely music for me. And after about 8 songs, I was like, man, I don't know. These songs are good. So I played it to the record company, and the record company went, "These songs are good. Do you want to release it like this?" I was like, "Yeah, I could." Because in the form that I did it, it was sort of like Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska, man, just vocals and acoustic guitar. And then I thought, no, I want to work with Australian producer Scott Horscroft because Shihad had worked with him on the Beautiful Machine record, and we never ended up using him because at that time I was a little bit afraid of how pop he was. But I also went mental note to self, that motherfucker's talented. He's the guy that co-wrote Straight Lines by Silverchair, man, which is one of my favorite Silverchair songs, right? So I knew he knew songs, and I just wanted someone. He's the same age as me, 53. He's got a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, same as me. So when I played him the shit, he came back straight away and went, "These are the best lyrics I've heard for ages. Come over to my studio. If you don't mind, I've got a young piano player, a young violin player, and a young drummer that I like using. And we'll just have a play." And we did. We just had a play. So he turned my songs from 2D to 3D. And that's what you hear on the last Lonely Gods album. It's a beauty. Yeah.
Interesting, bro. And did it, like you say, you were dealing with all these issues at the time? Like, did it help writing these songs?
Oh yeah, bro. It was like cathartic as hell, man. It was like it helped. I mean, the thing is, even from a teenager, man, it's like I always picked up my guitar as soon as I got home because I hated school. This is my way out of that. And being a teenager sucks anyway. So this is my way of making sense of it. It was always the music was the thing that I turned to when I was angry at the world, when I was sad at the world, when I was confused by the world, when I didn't understand myself. Music was the thing that gave me the scaffold to hold on to, man. It was like the thing that made me go, "Oh, okay, cool. It's okay to feel sad because Robert Smith from The Cure writes a song that makes me feel less alone in the world, or Metallica makes me feel okay to be angry at the state of free market capitalism, or like to rage, hard, like because I'm sitting there going, fuck, this world's weird and crazy and messed up and confusing, and music's always been there for me, man, from when I was a kid to even as a 53-year-old. And so writing this music was like really cathartic because it made me go, oh right, I'm feeling sad, but I'm also feeling vulnerable, but I'm also feeling fragile, but I'm also feeling like life's really precious right now. So there's lots of emotions that go along when you lose your mum, and you've got young kids, and you're going, oh, right now I'm the adult in the room, and you feel like a 17-year-old in your head, and hold it, I don't have parents anymore. What the hell? That's just me, and then the universe, and then there's nothing backing me up. I feel sort of vertigo, almost like it's scary, but at the same time, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I should be able to look after these kids good. And it makes me love them more, and it makes me love every day more. So it's like sad and beautiful at the same time, and I just need to hear that music.
One thing I've always wondered, bro, and you might be able to help me with this, is like when you write songs like that are cathartic for yourself and it helps you deal with a certain part of your life, like, and it's not just for these ones now, it's any music, but when you're playing them on stage 5, 10 years later, like, is it still good for you? Like, because you're bringing those repressed memories back every time you play that song. So is it still helping?
Yeah, I find these songs really comforting. Like they make sense of that pain. They make it. There's something beautiful that came out of that pain. Like so. It's like there's that beauty. Like maybe it's growing up in NZ. There's that real sort of we're surrounded by mountains and shit, and you're always constantly humbled by nature. Like so we've always got this slightly. Uh, there's sort of like there's a sadness, a bit of a beauty in it as well, and it's like I've always been attracted to that shit, man. Like that triumphant, sad, beautiful thing, like the big thing. I like that shit. She had to use that trick even from the first record, like Stations has got that sad but beautiful melody, it's churn, and then even Killjoy, it's like you hit the chorus of Gimme Gimme, even though it's a heavy as hell record, that opens up into this beautiful, triumphant feeling, like it's sort of bittersweet, like So I'm cool with that because that's how I sort of look at life. Because life can be hard, life can be sad, but it can also be fucking beautiful and it can be inspiring and amazing and triumphant, you know. And it's all of those things at once. So I need to hear music that does all of those things at once. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How about vocally, mate? Like, you're used to getting up there and belting it out when you sing. So how did you go vocally doing the acoustic album? Did you have to work at it?
There's, I've experimented with my voice before, like, um, you know, there's songs like Swallow Song, which is dealing with me and dealing with tinnitus and dealing with the fact that I'm trying to run away from myself at 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't sleep because my ears are going crazy. So I'm walking 10 kilometers around a suburb in the middle of the night going, oh man, I just want to get out of myself, I want to run away from myself, but I can't because I'm stuck here. And I need a quiet voice to be able to talk about that feeling of being trapped and that feeling of wanting to escape, like, but then, other songs like Gravity, man, I'm singing full voice, because um, that's talking about, okay, cool. I've lost my parents, but and I remember my dad telling me when he was close to death, and he said, "Shit, that went quick." And I was like, that's right. Life does go quick, So make sure when you wake up that you get something, at least one great thing out of every day, man, because you ain't gonna be here forever, Like, so Gravity's talking about that. It's talking about, okay, right, if that's what happens, let's just work out what paths I don't have to waste my time going down, what paths I want to go down, Like, so I need my full voice for that because it's about boom, you know. Yeah, I'm just enjoying I'm enjoying singing, using my voice to communicate what I'm feeling, and learning different ways around it.
How about the writing process for doing an acoustic solo album as opposed to a band album? Is there much difference?
Well, I mean, she had, she had makes a big, wide, apocalyptically heavy soundtrack. So I tend to hear that music and I go, oh, good, I get to talk about big things. I get to talk about the rise of fascism, and the rise of this, and how poor people are struggling, yet all these rich motherfuckers are taking everything, and I get to go, rah, and spit it out. But I'm talking about big world things. Whereas with this and what happened, it was real local, man. I lost my mom. I was looking at my kids going, what am I gonna, how am I gonna be the best dad for them? I was looking at, losing my brother-in-law. I was thinking about, it was really local. And so I needed music that wasn't but it was like there, like really close. And so that's the thing. I wasn't writing for a solo record. I was writing to understand what had just happened to me. And the music that I needed to hear was more gentle. Um, it has its grand moments on this record. It gets quite big, sort of like Big That Way, whereas She Has Big That Way, like gets quite deep that way, this record. Um, uh, so yeah, it's interesting. It's like I just needed to be able to talk about those things. I didn't need, I needed real tight shit, real tight and local shit.
Now, you're going to be heading over this side of the world to Australia for a few shows next month as well, starting at Mo's Desert Clubhouse on November 14th before hitting Brisbane and Melbourne, finishing in Sydney on November 17th, bro. So what can we expect from those shows?
Well, I reckon the album's only 37 minutes long, so I'm gonna bring this beast. This is Martin D18. Fucking love it. And I'm gonna play that album, and then I'm gonna blast through some of the Shihad songs that really affect me and that work really good on the acoustic guitar. And then I'm going to blast through songs that mean shit to me as a 53-year-old dude that I was listening to even as a kid, whether that's Neil Young, whether it's Bowie, whether it's, Motorhead, and I'm going to have fun with this instrument, like it's going to be great. And my voice. Yeah,
They're going to be sort of intimate type shows, just you and the guitar and the stage.
absolute voice, guitar, talking. It's different from Shihad, whereas yeah, I don't have anything to hide behind, in this situation. But that's actually cool, man. It's thrilling. It reminds me of early Shihad, gigs when I didn't know what the fuck we were doing either. So it was like, so you had to be really present because you didn't want to mess it up. This is good because like in this situation, nothing to hide behind voice. I got to sing good. I got to play guitar good. It's good, and it makes me really be present. It's
Have you
cool.
done any solo shows over there yet, or will these be the first ones?
No, I start my tour on the 11th, so for this Friday, coming up. Um, I've been playing solo shows for about 12 years, bro. So I'm all good with it. Like, I love it. It's actually thrilling. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Now, I gave the game away a little bit here earlier on, but I've
Let's do
started
it.
a thing called Photobomb. And what I've done is I've trolled through your socials before we chatted, and I picked out a couple of photos that I want to talk more about.
Let's
So I
go.
found this one of you guys. What the hell? Not there.
So basically, this is like, okay, this is we've got General Electric came out, it did much better than anybody expected. Then all of a sudden we had like Australian, like the Arias, and we got nominated for a few things. It was like, okay, we've never been invited to one of these, so let's make sure that we make a grand entrance. What can we do? Well, how about we hire a hovercraft? Do they even have those in Sydney? Yeah, we found a company. Great, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we can't drive it because I don't know what we're doing, but can we get the driver to like stick a Motorhead t-shirt on as well when he's driving us? And we just, yeah, that's how we arrived. And I think it was pretty triumphant entrance. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that outcome.
Guys get any blowback from organisers? Were they like, what the fuck?
No, I think once they realized we weren't going to kill anybody and that it wasn't us driving, that it was going to be professionally driven, they were okay with it. Yeah.
Kudos to you, mate. That's fucking awesome. And the other one I've got is this one here, man. Like,
Oh, yeah, bro.
how special of a feeling is that?
That is the best feeling in the world, and it's I just love that the smashing of the lines between stage and audience. Like any chance I get where it's like, all right, because for me, I mean, I get the best view in the house, like on stage, watching a crowd go boom, 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 is actually, I think it's better than anything watching us, like, yes, we try and make ourselves look okay and, work hard and stuff like that. But I love watching fucking a crowd move together, sing together, man. That's the best feeling in the world, best view in the world. So to actually get to be a part of that, I've always loved that. I think this has taken it, this is Shepherd's Bush Empire in the UK, I think. Last time we were there, maybe. And I think it is. It's a nice fun.
2020, whatever it was. I didn't write down where it was, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's London. It's England. Yeah. I love that feeling, bro. It's awesome.
Have the crowd ever wanted to keep you, mate, and not send you back that way and brought you that way?
Yeah, I definitely had my moments where I've yeah lost things. I lost my wedding ring once. That was problematic.
Oh, problematic. Did you get it back?
No, never did. Never did.
You're
Yeah.
married. She didn't kick out.
Oh yeah, no, we divorced after that. I'm on my second marriage now, bro.
Well, absolute pleasure speaking as usual, mate. Last of the Lundy Gods is out October the 11th, and everything you've said it is, bro. It is, man. I had to listen to it through, and it stirs emotions. It's
Yes,
it's
bro.
out, bro. Like you've done well, man.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No worries at all. And the tour kicks off in November the 11th in New Zealand. It comes to Australia November 14th. I'm going to come down to Mo's Desert Clubhouse and say hello, my friends. So
Awesome, bro. It'd be great. It'd be great to see you, man.